Hi there, as a part of AgilePoint's version 10 release, we're happy to announce support for Qwen. Over the course of this video, we'll show you how to create an access token so we can use Qwen as a part of an application, and then walk through the configuration of the various process activities. Now, if you are interested in leveraging Qwen through the AgilePoint AI Control Tower, please do watch the companion video. So to create that access token, we'll move into Manage, and under App Builder, we have Global Access Tokens. So what we're doing here is creating a globally reusable token across applications and across developers with its own permission framework. So we'll add a new token. We'll search for Qwen. Now the configuration is pretty straightforward. So we'll give a name, optionally a description, and what we'll require from the Qwen side is both the base URL as well as API key. Now, if we're creating this connection for the first time, we'd simply test the connection and then click Save. So now, with that access token in place, we can leverage those activities as a part of an application. Now, like the other AI platforms that AgilePoint supports, we do have process activities and control towers. And again, these are covered in a companion video. Process activities include analyzing an image using computer vision and chat completion, essentially the typical text-based interaction you've probably already had with a large language model. Now the use case for today is document intelligence, essentially comparing two versions of an executed agreement and understanding the differences and bringing a human into the loop to validate. So the process will start with a new document submitted for processing. That document will be converted into text, which our agents can use. And then we have a sequence of Qwen agents. So first, it's in charge of classifying that inbound document into a number of different types: statement of work, licensing agreement, or customer feedback. And then sub-agents with specialist skills for extracting the details from those different document types. Again, a license agreement or a statement of work. So let's walk through the configuration. So our classification agent is using the chat completion activity. I've connected into Qwen, specified the model that I'd like to use as configured here in the access token, initial model parameters, and then moving into the system instructions. The overall goal, again, is to classify the agreement into a few different types. The skills include identification of contractual, legal, service-related language, and detecting the sort of language we might see in one document versus another. And then finally, to make a deterministic classification that will drive our automation from here on. Now the input is going to be the entire agreement text itself, various instructions that pertain to one doc type versus another, nothing from a quality verification perspective, and then the output, again being just text, statement of work, license agreement, customer feedback, or other. All right, now the input is going to be the entire document text, and the response is going to be that document category as stored here in a variable. Now moving on to our sub-agents, again with skills to extract details from the respective document types, statement of work or license agreement. The configuration is pretty similar, so we'll only walk through one of them. But taking a look at our license agreement agent, again here, specified how we're connecting into Qwen, the model we'll use, model parameters, and then moving into the system instructions. Now, in this case here, the goal is to extract structured metadata from a license agreement to facilitate legal document analysis and comparison. Skills include document parsing, identification of key clauses, structured data extraction, and JSON formatting. Again, the input is going to be the entire agreement text, and then various instructions, document parsing, normalization rules, validation checks, handling, etc. No quality verification, and the output. So the output here is going to be a JSON structure. We've provided that schema and a sample response. Okay, now once our agents have done their work, you're seeing here we do have additional sub-processes. So let's walk through one of them here. So what we're going to do is take that metadata extracted from the agreement, load it into our sub-process, and then extract our current understanding of this customer's contract as stored in an existing system of record, in this case, Salesforce. So we'll retrieve that data, display it side by side with the extracted metadata from that newly signed agreement, and present it to a user, with the option to harmonize the data thereafter. Now, our statement of work process works very similarly, obviously tuned for a statement of work. But now that we understand how this application is configured, let's go ahead and run it. So here we have our form where we can submit a new document for processing. In this first run through, I'm going to want to upload a license agreement. All right, so that document has just uploaded. So with that, our process is kicked off, and let's track it here in real time. Okay, so as we're seeing here, our first classification agent has determined this is a license agreement type, which means in just a second, our sub-process will activate. Okay, so now we're taking the data from our existing system of record to facilitate that side-by-side comparison. And our human task is now ready. So again, here we're going to see all of the newly extracted details from that uploaded agreement presented side by side with our current understanding of that customer. So the first tab is basically high-level details about that customer, the account record that it pertains to in CRM. And under metadata comparison, we're seeing here the red hues call our attention to areas of key discrepancy. Now, obviously, in this case, there are a number of differences. So here I could decide how best to harmonize the data. Based on what we've seen, the metadata update might make the most sense. However, we can always kick off a new contracts management flow just by uploading a new agreement. Or in my case, I'm going to select no change so I can run this demo again. Okay, so that was the license agreement track. Let's run this once more with a statement of work. And we'll track the process once more. Okay, now this time, the statement of work track has been activated. So our statement of work agent is now extracting all of the details from that newly uploaded agreement. And in just a second, we'll see our human task ready. Okay, so again, showing some key differences between the two versions of the agreement. Obviously, the details extracted are different, given this is a statement of work, as opposed to a license agreement. But again, moving over to the Actions tab, how best to harmonize the data. Okay, so with that, that's going to conclude the content for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gives you a better understanding of one, how to create an access token for Qwen, and leverage the process activities as a part of your next application.